good morning, wherever you are. Let's talk mental health, and our talk is back. I can't wait to share with you that today, we have amazing guests with us. Without much ado, let me just first bring them on from the waiting lounge, and then I'm going to share with you who I am with. Well, you're watching Let's Talk Mental Health with Trisha Mukhopadhyay. Let me bring on my guests. My guests are here. We have Anu Vittal and we have Nimi Trehan. Dear friends, let's talk mental health. Overall well being, I always believe that it has to be mental, it has to be physical, emotional, spiritual. If one of these are missing, then we can't say that I'm in good health. So, to find out about how all these can be in place and well balanced, we have a special guest today who believes that her art has the power, that her art has the ability to heal. Awed by our environment, disturbed by the destruction of humans, and yet amazed by its resilience, is none other than our featured guest today, Nimi Trehan. Nimi, I would love for you to introduce yourself in your own way, in your own artistic style, to all our wonderful listeners. Nimi Trehan.
Hi, I'm Nimi Trehan. My background is in art and interior design. As an interior designer, I worked as a project manager in the healthcare field and saw firsthand how the environment, how nature, and how art impacted the lives of the patients. They were they healed much faster if they were in a pleasant environment, which was created by me adding art as a major element to my work. Personally, I have felt the therapeutic effects of art, not only enjoying art, but also making art. When I say, enjoying art and enjoying nature, most of my work is about the natural environment, which I find beautiful. Love the colors, the shapes, the texture that you find in nature, and I, as I said, I've felt the therapeutic benefits, but I'm definitely disturbed by I'm disturbed by the destruction that the humans are causing, and amazed at the resilience in nature. So I draw a lot of analogy of life with nature, and I think we are very resilient, just as nature is resilient, and there are lots of lessons to be learned from nature.
So true. And talking about resilience, you're a cancer survivor. You've recovered from a back surgery and lived in isolation during the pandemic, which I know can be quite a uh, tough as well as interesting journey. And you spend time painting as well as walking in nature, which is one of the creations that you made. This beautiful piece here called A Breath of Fresh Air. So, can you tell us a little bit more about that journey and how nature brings you inspiration in your work and why the environment is so crucial in your creation?
Sure. So this painting was conceptualized as I went for an early morning walk in the neighborhood. I mean, there was soft breeze blowing on my face, and there was sun rays streaming through the leaves, casting very interesting. There was a interesting interplay of light and shadow. Uh, and as I walked through that, I felt the stress of my daily life just wash away. and I was energized, reinvigorated, came back, and I wanted to capture the spirit onto this painting. And that's what you see here.
It's beautiful. It really speaks to creation, which is one of the things that she wants to highlight as her show is coming up. And the other piece there is about destruction, and this one right here is about resilience. So tell us how these three important words tie in with Mother Nature and the relationship, and bringing this as a focus for people to understand through your work and to be able to make changes themselves through your inspiration.
Yeah, so I mean, nature is beautiful. We've all experienced its therapeutic effects. But, there is this human greed that is destroying nature. This painting is about deforestation, and uh, by taking down the trees, we are disturbing the ecosystem. And one has to realize that we are not just disturbing the ecosystem, we are actually hurting ourselves. We are not, it may be the greed of an individual, but it's impacting the entire human community as a whole. We are destroying ourselves by not taking care, by not respecting nature.
True, but at the same time, you talk about the resilience of the waterfalls on these rocks and creating these beautiful stalactites and stalagmites, and this gorgeous piece here speaks of that amazing resilience.
Yes. So I have traveled to different parts of the world, and one of the things I really enjoyed is seeing waterfalls streaming through, right, rushing through, rugged rocks. Now these rocks, they have dealt with the ravages of time. There have been snowstorms, thrusts of wind that have left an impact. It actually has created beautiful textures, which I've captured in my painting. And for eons, this has been going on, but the mountains have stood strong and they're steadfast. And through the mountain, they've created gorges, they have created waterfalls, and the waterfalls, as they come descending down the rocks or descending down the mountains, they snake their way. They find their way. There's an obstruction. They find they bend. There's another hurdle. They find another way to come down. And just the sound of the waterfall is therapeutic, and it's taught me a lot. Like, yes, there are going to be bends and difficulties, but you don't stop. You just keep charging ahead. So these waterfalls are not only calming, but they're also motivating.
Absolutely. Talking about calming, motivating, you always say when you're painting, you're in a meditative state, and that art is your painkiller. It's a natural painkiller.
It is.
How did you discover that, and what do you do? What can you tell our viewers how they can use art in different ways?
Well, it is definitely a natural painkiller. I think the more, I've experienced back pain, hip pain, all kinds of pain. And I feel that if I focus on the pain, it gets worse. If I deviate from that, if I just kind of diverge my mind towards art, I'm totally in the zone. I'm interacting with the painting. I'm not interacting with my pain anymore. And I just forget. I just forget that there's a pain. So I can almost, I can swear by it.
Have you done any art therapy, or what do you recommend our viewers do when they are feeling pain? Should they listen to music? What would you give advice to someone who's going through, say, mental or physical pain right now, or being a cancer survivor? What was that thing that you pulled through? That was that one thing that kind of made you go through it in a more comfortable fashion, if there's a better word than that I can use.
Again, I'll say, I just put my mind into painting, and I was totally immersed in it. And it's like, it's what you focus on. You focus on the positive, you get the positive. You focus on the negative, you get the negative. if I'm thinking of my pain, if I'm thinking about, I'm doing everything. It's not that I did not address the medical issue, the medical treatments. I went through chemotherapy. I went through radiation. I did everything that the doctor told me. But I said, okay, I've done my part. Now, whatever happens, happens. And then I just started painting. And it was like I went through about 6 months of treatment. And in the seventh or the eighth month, I was ready for an exhibit. I had done so much work. So, and I've felt that time and again, that that is, it's been very therapeutic for me. I have not done therapy for others, but I have felt it myself. And
Nimi,
I have a friend.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't wait to ask you this. You said that I have felt it myself. So how and you do believe that it's therapeutic, it has helped you, and it is going to be very helpful for people who need it. How do you, in your imagination, with your belief, you think that it will trickle down to the most common person who is actually who needs help, who needs this as a therapy? So how do you think this could trickle down to a regular person going through, who is in need of healing through art?
Okay, so I would suggest that just get started. That is the most important thing. And just express yourself. It's like writing a journal. You're writing it for yourself. You're not writing it because you want to be, it's going to be a bestseller novel or anything. You're just letting yourself go. And it's not about the result, it's more about the process, about the journey. And the journey, through the journey, you're totally immersing yourself. And it's like whatever comes to your mind, you're thinking about your family, just express it. You're thinking about your pain, just express it. Whatever color that pain is for you, just express it. And that's a way of getting it out of your system.
And I
Wow.
have had the honor of a sneak peek into some of her works, which are going to be featured in the upcoming show. The show is actually on. It started on the 8th of
It,
September. It goes
uh,
on till the 15th of November.
uh,
And the reception is coming up on Thursday, the 15th of September. And we'll tell you more about it. But what she was talking
Anu,
about, I already,
could you please
you,
repeat the dates? Uh, 8th of
I
September.
will. Yeah, it started on the 8th of September. It goes on till the
15th.
15th of November. And I'm going to show you that invite shortly in a couple of minutes. But what I wanted to say, having seen the sneak preview of her works and how, you get drawn into it, you feel already healed and very peaceful. Just viewing her work, you just absolutely feel that ethereal sense of actually physically being in that space. And the star of the show, and I might be able to say this with your permission, is this beautiful set of lotuses. And I cannot tell you how phenomenal they look. And there's a reason she painted them as part of the creative process and her journey as an artist. So, could you tell us a little bit about that and what was the title of that painting?
Okay, so I painted. It's a fairly large painting. It's titled "Surviving with Grace," and again, I went to there's a lotus garden in the Washington D.C. area. That's really beautiful. And again, I get my inspiration from the lotuses. Like they grow in murky waters and there isn't space to grow. The roots are all snarled uh, and they are growing in a dark space. But they come up, and in spite of the environment, they've grown up and they are blossoming with so much beauty that is breathtaking and teaches me something.
Yeah, for sure. Lotus is a symbol of peace, of happiness, of bliss, and we use it also in yoga. You must be using the lotus position when you sit down and do your breathing. It's such a relaxing and healing thing. It's a constant reminder to take us back to our inner self. Often talks about from within. You mentioned you when you paint or you create, it's an expression of yourself from within flowing outside.
Yeah, my work is about my observations. I mean, I'm observing the world without, but I'm also observing the world within me. You know how one is connected to the other. That's how I'm getting my inspiration from the other, from the outer world, is informing my inner self, and that's what I translate into my work.
Absolutely. And you talked about energy, and many people don't know this, but someone who's been in the arts for the last 25 years, I can tell you that all paintings have an energetic or magnetic uh, potential within them. And we know this from feng shui, we know this from Vastu, that inanimate objects, especially something that's created from a soul space, a true place, definitely has that. And all of her paintings seem to be connecting humans in such a beautiful, magical way. I feel it when I view your paintings and your works. So tell us more about that and how you want to be able to really inspire the world and the new age young people to do more work for our environment.
Well, the environment is nurturing us, and we need to nurture it back. There is so much. I mean, we are getting our food, we are getting our water, we are getting our energy from nature. We just cannot afford to destroy it. And why are we doing that? What have we gained from it? It's nothing but every day there are news about wildfires and flooding and erosion, so and extinction. And we need all the elements to work for us, not against us.
So true. So you create awareness, and your paintings going into people's homes bring joy, bring that connection to Mother Nature, that realization of the importance of the environment,
Right.
which is so healing and so beautiful. And talking about that, we have this beautiful invite. Why don't you show them? This is called.
Okay, so this painting is called Warm Embrace. And as you can see, it is, when I look at this painting that
Can
I've
you
created.
hold it to the camera? So towards the no, can you? Yeah, perfect,
So,
perfect.
okay, so when I look at this painting, or when I'm showing this painting to the
Yeah.
universe, I want to say, "Good morning, universe." And I wanted to transmit the energy that I am feeling. Uh, I want to spread the sunshine into people's lives.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. And I could feel that, Nimia. I could feel that. So much warmth, so much of energy. It's beautiful, beautiful.
So the exhibition, I think, is on, not exhibition, is
The
the
reception.
reception is on the 15th of September, Thursday, from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And it is
Where
at
is it?
the Women's National Democratic Club in Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. Please repeat. Um, it is at Anu. Could you please repeat that?
Sure, it's at the Women's National Democratic Club. It's on
And
1527 New Hampshire Avenue in
okay,
Washington, D.C.
okay, okay.
And you can also find more about her on her website, which is
What's
Nimi
your
Trehan.
website? Let me put it up here. Anu, Nimi,
Yeah,
your
Yeah,
website.
NimiTrehan.com.
Nimi Trehan.
.com.
Nimi Trehan one word.com, right?
Right.
Okay. So your website is Nimi Trehan. .com.
How many people do you have in the show?
About 19 to be
19.
exact.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a
So
big
we
show.
have it. Show. Let me. So this is the website. Did I write that? Did I get that correct? Nimi, can you see?
Yes.
NimiTrehan.com.
Yeah, right.
Lovely.
Okay. Okay, that's very nice. Very nice.
So anyone
And
who's in the area can come online onto her website, check the details for the show, but they have to RSVP by today, tomorrow, so
mhm.
that we can guest list.
And we will be posting, sharing the information on our Instagram handle, Twitter, uh, and also we will be
Facebook.
updating on all the social media platforms that we are connected to, and looking forward to, Nimi, looking forward to.
Thank you.
This is Nimi. I we are I think we are doing very good as far as time is concerned. So I'd like to. I've been very inquisitive about asking uh,
Mm.
to know when did this journey start. I mean, you sound like somebody who is like it was always there. The artist had always been there. When did this
Yeah,
start?
well, you know, there was always the creative side of me. I've been drawing and painting since I was a kid. Uh, and I really, well, I studied interior design, which is, I would say, another form of creativity, just a lot more practical. And I enjoyed that. I was fortunate enough to get an opportunity to work in the healthcare field. I worked in a lot of doctors' offices. I designed a lot of doctors' offices, medical centers, and then I was employed by Walter Reed Medical Center, the Army Medical Center, which was a huge campus, and that's where that's where I related art to mental health. I don't think I was conscious of that all along, but that's where I started relating to it. And apparently, right now, Walter Reed has a huge, or not just Walter Reed, the entire army has a huge art therapy section. I mean, they're really promoting it all over the army. So I hope that that spreads to other areas of healthcare. Other hospitals are also made aware of it. And it's really very subtle. It's just like the patients are having fun and just expressing themselves. And in the course, it's working towards their wellness.
Absolutely. I think the inner child never dies, and when you paint, you become like a
Right,
child,
right.
creating, painting. There's so much
Mm,
joy, the ego subsides, and
mm,
you start to lose a lot of those negative emotions just through pure expression.
right,
And you're not even conscious. Sometimes it's the
right,
subconscious doing most of the work,
right.
and you feel suddenly such a cathartic feeling or a cathartic experience through this whole music or art or even dance for that matter. It's, I think more of this should be included in hospitals, and I think a combination, to be honest, because we did all of this as children, and it's an essential part of our growing up, not just
Very
math
true.
and science. So
Very true.
Yeah, so, one thing led to the other. And then when I retired from Walter Reed, I wanted art to be the focus of my day, so to say. And that's what I've been doing for the last 12 to 13 years since I retired.
she's also into photography. Some of her photography is pretty phenomenal.
Awesome. At this point of time, I'd like to share some of your work, and let me see if that works. I'm going to share your page on Soul at Plate, I believe, uh, is uh, from the gallery. So let me just give this a try. Let's see if, yeah. It is right here. We can
Mhm.
see.
Yes, I
We
can.
can see, right? So let me see if it works.
Okay. Hmm.
Start. I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's looking nice, Trish.
Yeah.
Stories, the beautiful stories for each of the abstract works, because I think there's so much meaning and experiences that add value to
Yeah.
this work, the
Let
painting.
me move a little bit to the colors. This one.
Yeah.
This one.
Oh, that's a
Oh yeah,
beautiful piece.
it's one
Oh,
of my favorites. Yeah.
one of your favorites?
Yes, absolutely.
What
Wow.
is it about?
Tell us a
It's
little bit.
about, okay, so my inspiration for this painting, in fact, I've done a whole series on this, is from Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis.
Mm-hmm.
So I observed some of these on my trip to Alaska, and that became my inspiration to do, to do this entire work. You see these colors that are intense and they move. There's so much intense energy in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like it's really spreading the joy, and it creates like a childlike wonder. It's like every time I say, "Oh my God, I've never seen this." You may be 80 years old and you come up with that kind of an expression. It just brings the child in you, and that's what I like to see in people. So,
It is gorgeous.
yes,
You've also done created something where someone's dancing. Oh, I love the peacock. This is
yeah.
also beautiful
Yeah, this is in my
addition.
show. Yes, this is in my show, and I love the patterns in nature, the colors. I think the peacock has some beautiful, beautiful colors. I mean, I don't even think of the palette. There it is, and the textures are gorgeous. So that was my inspiration, and I abstracted it, combined geometric forms with organic forms.
Lovely.
And she's
I.
also done some with a dancer. While the dancer was dancing, she actually painted
Mm-hmm.
a beautiful piece live. I don't know where it is on
No,
the
it's not.
website.
It's not on here, but it's on
It's
the website.
it
Yes,
is, yeah.
yeah.
So whenever they get a chance, when you check out her website or Instagram. Instagram handle is
This one.
Nimi Trehan underscore.
Nimi
Is this
underscore
one,
Trehan.
Anu? Anu, you were talking. Were you
Yeah.
talking about this one? The
Okay.
lotus.
Now this one. No,
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 no.
no, no.
This is the banyan.
This is the banyan tree, which is very much about resilience.
Okay.
It's about growth and it's about
Yes.
resilience. And this
Yes.
is one of my favorites, and it's in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, the banyan tree. I mean, again, it grows in all kind of in an adverse environment. With the heat and the thrusts of wind and the monsoon. The monsoon showers and everything. But it's sturdy. It's strong. It sends roots down to the earth, and those roots form more trees. They grow under this. They grow under the earth. They travel and then come up and create another tree. So I find that very, very inspirational. As a matter of fact, in one of the classes I was attending, I was asked to create a logo, and my logo, not this particular painting, but my logo was the banyan tree. Again, it's about resilience.
Beautiful. I want to move on to the next one, and I believe. Oh.
Okay, so this is about the surviving with grace also. What I have in the show is a much bigger version of this. I did start with this, and then this painting evolved into a larger painting, I think a better painting. But it's what we were talking about earlier is they're growing through murky waters in dark that are dark and sludgy with snarled roots, and they're growing beautifully.
And that painting is the star of the show, so you have to
Yeah.
come to the show to see it.
Yes. And hopefully And that's our featured guest, Nimi. Nimi, Nimi is here. Oh, lovely. So I'm going to also try Nimi Trehan.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes.
uh, so our viewers can check your website.
Mhm.
So, oh, that's Nimi's website. It is nimitrehan.com.
And her Instagram handle is Nimi Trehan underscore artist. NIMITREHAN underscore artist.
Artist.
So there's lots of upcoming news there. There's going to be some more events and a studio visit upcoming. So keep checking for more details on there. And we'll be doing a Facebook Live on the day of the reception on the 15th of September 6:30 to 8 p.m. So looking forward to all the viewers joining us there, sharing, and if they have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear more from you. And actually, I want to say that the banyan tree, what she mentioned, is such a beautiful way to look at our lives and draw strength when we're going through difficulties. I always used to talk about the analogy of the diamond and how when it gets a cut, it shines brighter. But now I think seeking help, whether it's mental, physical, or any kind of pain that we might be facing, is so essential. And when you seek help, you also help others from your own growth journey. And we've learned a lot from Nimi today. We are honored to have you on our show. And thank you so much, Trisha, for hosting this wonderful show and inviting us to participate.
Absolutely.
Thank
And
you so
thank you
much, Trisha.
so much. And Anu is my partner, my soul sister, my buddy. I can't imagine having this wonderful podcast going without Anu with me. So, Anu, I cannot thank you enough for coming back. And not only just coming back with Nimi. And I look forward to our next episode. And also, I wish you good luck, Nimi. And
Thank you.
thank you so much for your time for joining us. And Anu, thank you as always. And most importantly, at this point of time, I'd like to thank all our viewers. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Trisha Connects, called Tandoor Chats. And we will be bringing much more very soon. Thank you. And this is
Yep.
Trisha Maitra Kupre, thanking all of you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.